livelihood.
Yes.
But you said that your aunt, up until just before that, had provided you a car.
She would, at the beginning of all this, cared and would help me with things, and then she would manipulate me and take everything away from me if I didn't do what she told me to do.
Okay. But you indicate on your GoFundMe that nobody's helped you and that you're just out there all alone.
No, I did not.
During this time, not only was I struggling coping with this, but was also struggling with navigating my way through life and getting myself back on my feet. I had to provide myself a place to stay, transportation, college, and everyday's necessities. I never asked for help during this time and always tried to figure out everything on my own. It was a struggle filled with both highs and lows, but God has always provided a way.
Yes.
Okay? And you don't think that's what it actually was?
I don't think that's what?
You don't think that was a manipulation of the truth?
No, it's not.
How much money did you raise from that?
Like $800 or something.
He don't like the fact that she's testifying against her mother and he's trying to discredit her. She lost her father at the age of 6. She lost her mom at the age of 17. Stop trying to make it more than one year.
No further questions.
Redirect?
Yeah, thanks.
And Mr. Young, would you move the microphone a little bit closer to the middle? Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Hunt, I want to start with where Mr. Cellini ended on this GoFundMe page.
Okay.
Tell the jury why you did this GoFundMe page.
When this all happened to me, I was left with literally nothing. You would think that if my mom knew that she would do this, she would do something to, like, prepare her daughter or set her daughter up to not have parents or financial help. I had people in the beginning, they were very nice and they volunteered. I never asked people for anything, like I had said in my GoFundMe paragraph.
And
It's like I was like thrown out into the world with nothing.
there's some Kleenexes to your left there, Ms. Hunt, if you'd like to use those. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let me ask you this. You indicated on cross-examination that it was August of 2022 that your Aunt Brenda cut you off?
I think it was September or August, yeah, somewhere around then.
So was it after you came to Colorado to give this statement for a proffer and told us what you told this jury today?
Yeah, it was after.
Did she find out about it? Is that why she cut you off?
Objection foundation.
I can
You
rephrase.
can rephrase, right?
Do you know why she cut you off?
There was just multiple reasonings that didn't really make sense. She just didn't agree with, with the insurance of the car and things like that.
Needless to say, it was after you gave your statement is when she took your car back and stopped providing you with funds.
Yes.
And you're in college, you're in nursing school, right?
Yes.
Were you working at the time?
Yes.
Now, when you made the post about losing both parents, what did you mean?
I lost both my parents. It was like one day you wake up and your whole life changed. I lost my stepdad, and I lost my mom and my brother. I lost everybody.
Were you trying to imply that your mom had died?
No.
Were you just stating the fact that she was arrested and you hadn't seen her since she's been arrested?
Yes.
Counsel asked you several questions about not smelling anything in the van. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did your mom do anything to prevent you from smelling anything in the van as you were driving?
Yes, she always kept the air on. I remember a time when I was cold and I tried to turn it off, and she was like, "No, it's hot in here." And we also like kept giving the dog like little like CBD treats to keep them calm.
And you're driving into January, early February through Texas. Was it cold in Texas?
I don't remember. It wasn't like hot and sunny though.
Mr. Tellini asked you on cross-examination that you would have never dreamed that your mom would have done something bad to Gannon. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
What do you think about that now as you sit in this courtroom?
I'm still in shock. I defended her for years, and I just feel like manipulated and lied to.
And when we started out your testimony this morning, you talked about learning about how your father actually died. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about? The manipulation that's been going on for years is finally coming to your realization?
Yes.
And do you remember when you were talking to us back in August, the questions I was asking you about why we were considering filing charges on you?
Yes.
Do you remember me asking you, what would you explain to a jury about driving across country with a body in a suitcase in the back of that van? What would you tell the jury? Do you remember that question?
Yes.
Tell this jury whether or not you knew that Gannon's body was back in that van and why.
The thought just never came across my mind. I just never thought my mom would do that. I didn't see her to be the person to do that. So I never even like questioned it. Like it just never came up.
And what would happen if you did question it?
She would just say like, "Don't question me," like saying it was back talking her.
Mr. Tellini was asking you questions about any relationships between the time your father and her separated and divorced by the time that she married Albert Stout. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
Did your mom date anybody or go out with anyone in between that time period?
Yes.
You remember who she went out with and for how long?
There was Travis.
Did you know Travis's last name?
No.
Do you know where you were living when she dated Travis?
Myrtle Beach.
And how long did they date?
It felt like a while. A year or two.
Mr. Tellini asked you about a hospitalization at some point. Do you recall that question?
Yes.
You initially said that you thought that your mom was in the hospital because she had cancer. You remember
Yes.
cancer?
Yes.
Who told you that your mom had cancer?
I remember her saying she had ovarian cancer when we lived in Charleston.
Who said that?
My mom.
And was she telling you that because why? Why did she tell you that?
I don't know.
Were you asking what the heck you're doing in the hospital?
Yeah.
And her answer was, I have ovarian cancer.
Yeah, I remember.
You ever bring up ovarian cancer again with you?
No.
Mr. Tellini asked you questions about suicides and your mom talking about suicide. Do you recall those questions?
Yes.
He asked you on two different events, right?
Yes.
Do you remember one of those events being in Alaska?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that. How did that come up? What was said? What was the circumstances surrounding what was said?
Yeah, so I remember I was in my room, and she was like, "Come eat, that's your last dinner with me." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then she was like, "It's already too late, like I took them." And then I was just like, "What?" And I remember crying, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then we went and had dinner, and then it was never talked about again.
And was this at a time when she was telling you that she didn't want to be in Alaska? She had nothing to do with Alaska, wanted to move from Alaska?
Yes.
What do you think about what she said to you now?
What do you mean?
Is that a form of manipulation, as you indicated earlier?
Yes.
Had you ever seen her try to hurt herself?
No.
And the other time she talked about suicide, was this related to the hospitalization that she said she was in for ovarian cancer?
Yes.
Did you consider that to be a form of manipulation?
Yes.